Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching Oman News. First, the headlines. His Majesty the King of Spain confirms his country's intention to invest in oil and gas and energy sectors in the Sultanate. The Sultanate and the Kingdom of Spain signs agreements in the field of defense, transport, communications, tourism, records and archives, and avoiding double taxation. Duqm Special Economic Zone wins a prize for the Best Arab Government e-site. And traditional crafts experiences are transformed from fathers to sons at elderly friends gathering in the Governorate of Ad-Dahliya. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty King Juan Carlos of Spain stressed his appreciation for His Majesty Sultan Qaboos and the Omani people, mentioning that the Sultanate became secured, prosperous state and had achieved successful merge between heritage and modern civilization that came during his meeting with the businessman from both Omani and Spanish sides in his palace of stay at Al-Alam Palace. His Majesty King Juan Carlos I mentioned that cooperation is continuing with the Sultanate in numerous tablet projects, and Spanish businessmen were acquainted with investment opportunities in oil, gas and energy sectors, and they have the desire to invest and contribute in the prospective projects within Future Vision 2020. During the meeting, aspects of cooperation in economic fields, possibilities of setting up joint projects between Spanish and Omani businessmen, and investment opportunities available in both the Sultanate and Spain were reviewed. The meeting also reviewed businessman visits, exchange to stand at available investment potentials in various sectors. The Sultanate and the Kingdom of Spain signed a series of agreements in the fields of defense, transport and communications, tourism and records and archives, beside avoiding of double taxation. His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, and His Excellency Pedro Moranes, Minister of Defense of Spain, signed in Al-Alam Palace this morning a Memorandum of Understanding on military cooperation, which will form a framework for joint military cooperation between the Ministries of Defense of both countries. The MOU was signed at the presence of His Majesty King Juan Carlos of Spain and his delegation, and the signing came within the context of a number of agreements of cooperation in various fields between the Sultanate and Spain. In transport and communications sector, His Excellency Dr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al-Fataisi, Minister of Transport and Communications, signed with Spanish delegation a memorandum of understanding with the aim to strengthen and develop this sector between the two countries in order to enhance transport and communication services. The Sultanate and the Kingdom of Spain also signed a Memorandum of Understanding in tourism cooperation. From the Omani side, it was signed by His Excellency Ahmed bin Nasser Al-Maharzi, Minister of Tourism, and from the Spanish side, it was signed by His Excellency Jose Manuel Lopez, Minister of Industry, Energy and Tourism. His Excellency the Minister of Tourism stated that the MOU was on tourism cooperation. He added that the tourism sector in Spain is a very advanced one, and Spain enjoys a great experience in tourism. So the MOU will draw a guideline of an organized cooperation. Currently, there is a Spanish delegation, and a visual view will be presented on using forts and castles. His Excellency Hamad bin Mohammed Al-Doyani, Chairman of National Records and Archives Authority, signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Spanish side in the field of managing records and archives in line with modern system and multi-procedure system, as well as putting principles and standards necessary to assess all records prepared for the publication and documentation. The Sultanate and the Kingdom of Spain signed an agreement on avoiding double taxation and prohibiting of tax evasion with regard of taxes on income. It was signed from the Omani side by His Excellency Darwish bin Ismail al-Balushi, Minister responsible for financial affairs, and from the Spanish side by Gonzalo de Benito, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs. The agreement aimed to organize Omani and Spanish taxation with regard to individuals and companies, to provide suitable legal atmosphere, and to strengthen economic, trade and investment relations between the Sultanate and Spain. His Excellency, the Minister responsible for financial affairs, said that the agreement is on avoiding double taxation with the aim to facilitate for businessmen and investors from both sides, and hoped that the agreement will lead to strengthening aspects of economic and trade ties and to facilitate procedures for investors. Within the context of official visit to the Sultanate, His Majesty Juan Carlos I of Spain, a visual show was presented on investment potentials in various economic fields in the Sultanate, especially in Duqm Special Economic Zone. He saw content of a comprehensive plan of the zone, which comprised the dry dock, seaport area, touristic area and the airport. It also covered heavy, medium and light industries area, petrochemical industries and Duqm residential city plan. His Majesty the King and his delegation expressed their admiration of what they had seen, mentioning the importance of Duqm Special Economic Zone as a logistic support station for the region and the world. His Majesty King Juan Carlos I of Spain received in his place of stay at Al Alam Palace His Excellency Dr. Yahya bin Mahfoud al-Muntari, Chairman of the State Council. His Majesty listened to the briefing on the role of the Omani Council of its two chambers in Shura system in the Sultanate and level of development achieved in this field. During the meeting, they also discussed aspects of existing cooperation between the Sultanate and the Kingdom of Spain in various spheres and Madrid's preparedness of cooperation and exchange of experiences in this field. His Majesty King Juan Carlos I of Spain received in his place of stay at Al Alam Palace His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal al-Ma'wali, Chairman of the Shura Council, who presented a briefing on the Shura March in the Sultanate and its development from the Consultative Council until it reached the Shura Council, whose members are elected by direct voting. During the meeting, they discussed joint cooperation in this field. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has received a cable of thanks from His Excellency President Dr. Mohammed Al-Munsif Al-Marzouki of Tunisia in reply to His Majesty's cable of greetings on his country's independence anniversary. Reviewing aspects of existing cooperation in military field between the two countries and ways of strengthening them topped matters of the meeting of His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harib al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, with His Excellency Pedro Moranes, Minister of Defense of Spain at Al Alam Palace. During the meeting, they discussed numerous issues of mutual concern. His Excellency Pedro Moranes, Minister of Defense of Spain, visited Royal Opera House Muscat, where he saw house contents and architectural edifice which embodied Omani cultural heritage.
We had a very famous
Duqm Special Economic Zone won strategic prize for the Best Arab Government E-Site, which reflected level of success achieved by its E-Site. It was selected as a winner by a host of Arab and regional experts and artists on the basis of basic criteria such as creativity, user-friendly, its structure, interactive and visual design attractiveness. The assessment was based on international standards approved by Al-Saqwa of the United Nations. The Zone Authority, which created its sites 2 years ago with the number of categories included private and public sectors, was honored at 11th round, which was held in Dubai. In support for small and medium enterprises and in keeping its rights, Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises announced to all ministries and government institutions the necessity to speed up procedures of handling in financial sums to enterprises that implemented government projects in a period of not exceeding 60 days from receiving documents that providing completion of implemented projects. The authority created a form to facilitate implementation of this decision, stressing its contact and bodies concerned to urge them to pay financial dues. The authority confirmed that it will not look into any request for financial sums before the elapse of the stated legal period for payment, which is 60 days from the date of presenting the complete request for the contracting government body. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Ministry of Education held a graduation ceremony for the students of Omar bin Al-Khattab Institute for the Blind. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The 6th Holy Quran memorization contest between the Sultan's Armed Forces and Armed Forces of Iran was concluded at the main lecture hall at Sultan Qaboos Grand Mosque. The two-day competition included 4 levels. Some 28 participants took part in the contest from both sides. At the end of the conclusion ceremony, appreciation certificates and prizes were handed over to the top 4 winners in each level of the contest. The arbitration committee members were also honored. The conclusion ceremony was presided over by His Excellency Habib bin Mohammed Al Riyami, Secretary General of the Sultan Qaboos Higher Center for Culture and Sciences. With the aim of encouraging to contribute and support sports with its different types, the Ministry of Sports Affairs honored the contributors in success of Club's Youth Creation Competition. It was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Saad bin Mohammed Al Mardouf, Minister of Sports Affairs. The 3 stages competition included a number of fields, mainly poetry, theatre, photography, fine arts, short story, chess, scientific researches, and digital designing. Food security is one of the most significant goals of the Sultanate as to meet the food needs of citizens in all times and circumstances. Food security indicators in the Sultanate were published by the National Statistics and Information Center in terms of individual share in the most consumable commodities in the Sultanate and the Omani family's monthly expenditure. The figures pointed out to increase in the individual share in the Sultanate in 4 foodstuffs, namely rice, sugar, light meat and fruits, compared to Arab countries. They also showed that the wheat and rice are the biggest consumable commodities in the Sultanate, as the individual share in wheat and rice amounted to more than 111 kilograms. It was also noted that vegetable oil are the least consumable oils in the Sultanate, as individual consumes 3 kilograms only. The Capital Market Authority approved the issue of a shares bulletin of a Saudi energy company and Al-Batna energy company through initial public offering, which will start at 11th of May to 19th of July 2014, with a total capital of 62.7 million Omani riyals. These new issues have formed new channels to direct personal, local and foreign assets and occupy them to finance economic projects. A seminar of malaria disease was held this morning by the Directorate General of Health Services in the Governorate of Dhofar on the occasion of World Health Day and World Malaria Day. The event was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Salim bin Aufat Al-Shanfari, Chairman of Dhofar Municipality. The seminar aims to spread awareness of some health issues related to malaria disease and raise the level of preparedness of health workers. The event came in translation of the Ministry of Health's efforts to combat communicable diseases. Amid active participation by a group of elderly people in the Governorate of Dakhliya, the Omani Elderly Friends Society organized a craftsman gathering. The event was presided over by His Excellency Sheikh Saif bin Mohammed Al-Abri, Secretary General of the Office of the Representative of His Majesty the Sultan. The ceremony started with the speech on the Omani Elderly Friends Society and its role in taking care of this segment of the community and raising awareness on the significance to bring together all efforts of the community individuals to pay more attention to the elderly. It was also a chance for elderly craftsmen to display their skills and crafts and transfer them to the new generation. The project of My Identity in the Niyaba of Sanaa in the Governorate of Al-Mudaybi in Qutayba bin Al-Nu'man School for Basic Education stressed the importance of appreciating values, traditions and customs, in addition to catch to the Arab identity at the Omani society. The project included a number of social, educational and scientific activities. A ceremony was held by the Ministry of Education for the graduation of the 4th batch of students of Omar ibn al-Khattab Institute for the Blind. The institute provides special educational services to 146 male and female students in various educational levels. The graduation ceremony included Holy Quran recitation, speeches by graduates and artistic shows performed by the institute's students. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the King of Spain confirms his country's intention to invest in oil, gas and energy sectors in the Sultanate. The Sultanate and the Kingdom of Spain signs agreements in the field of defense, transport, communications, tourism, records and archives, and avoiding double taxation. Duqm Special Economic Zone wins a prize for the Best Arab Government e-site. And traditional crafts experiences are transformed from fathers to sons at an elderly friends gathering in the Governorate of Dakhliya. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studio and the newsroom, it's good night. News.